Hey everybody, Scott here for Toaster Tips TV. It is Labor Day and I've got to work tonight. But I get holiday pay. I'm going to share with you my favorite, it's a public service announcement, my favorite stretching exercises for the hands. They come from the Healthy Hands DVD by Martin Gray. And I'll put a link in the description for his new version of this. It's a Healthy Hands and Forearms Blu-ray. And it'll really help your hands out if you ever have any forearm pain from playing guitar too much, or finger or hand pain. If you do a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs like I do, and it makes that noise when I do it too, it's weird, then this will help you out, help you a lot. So today I'm going to show you the stretching bits. Enjoy.
In this first section of the video, we'll be doing some stretching exercises for the hands. We'll stretch first the left hand, and then we'll do the same movement on the right hand. There are so many movements that so we won't forget them, we'll do first the left hand, then the right hand. We'll begin with bending the left hand backwards. And I'll hold each one of these movements, each one of these stretches, for 3 to 4 seconds. Now, I've been doing these exercises for a long time, so my hands are quite flexible. Some of you, when you do these movements, your hands will only bend this far. That's fine. However far you can bend it back is fine. Don't bend it too far where you begin to feel any pain. Just hold the hand backwards a bit. Hold it for 3 to 4 seconds. And then release. Now we're going to bend the hand forward. First, I'll place the right hand up on top of the left hand, and I'm bending it down like this. And then I slide the right hand down to the fingers and bend the fingers in towards the left wrist. Again, the hand first starts up on top and is bending the whole hand down, and then it bends the fingers inward. And then we do the same thing using the left hand on top of the right hand, bending the right hand inward, and then sliding the left hand down to the fingers and bending the fingers inward. And repeating that on the other side again. First the right hand is up on top, holding that for 3 or 4 seconds, and then down to the fingers and bending the fingers in. And then bending the left arm, left hand forward, and again the fingers. Now we're going to turn the hand. So first of all, I'm going to have the left hand turned out like this, the thumb pointing out. My right hand comes around here and it turns it even more. And then when I get the turn, then I have my arm go in a circle this way a few times and then this way a few times. And then we do the same thing on the right. The right hand turns outward like that. The left hand turns it around a little bit more, and then, holding that position, we go in a circle this way, and then we go in a circle this way. Now we'll repeat that again, turning the left hand out, the right hand comes around, turns it a little bit more, and does this motion in the circle. And the same with the right hand, doing the circles in both directions. Now we're going to turn the wrist the other way. So we turn the left thumb pointing down, put the right hand up on top, turn the wrist a little bit more, and then again go in circles. Working the wrist joint, bringing more mobility to the wrist joint, and going in circles in both directions. Then the right hand turns down, left hand comes up on top, turns it a bit, and then again doing these circles. In both directions. And we'll repeat that. The left hand turns down, the right hand goes up on top, it turns the hand, and then we do the circles. Again in both directions. The right hand turns down, the left hand up on top, turning it a bit, and then doing these circles. In both directions. Now we're going to bend the left thumb forward. So I grab the left thumb with the right hand and I squeeze it in towards the left wrist. And then same exercise on the opposite side. Left hand is bringing the right thumb in forward. Now we'll bend the thumb backward. Notice how I'm using my right hand to bend the left thumb backwards. And then bending the right thumb backwards. Now we'll return to the left side, and as we're bending the left thumb forward, watch what I do with my fingers. Squeezing your fingers, moving your fingers around, while I keep my right thumb squeezed in towards the wrist. And then the same thing on the opposite side, holding the right thumb in, and then moving my fingers of my right hand. And we can do that same technique as we're bending the left thumb backwards. Moving your fingers of your hand while the thumb is being bent backwards. And the same on the opposite side. Now what we want to do is spread each one of our fingers apart. And the way we're going to do that is make a spreading sort of mechanism with our opposite hand, using the finger, the little finger, and the thumb of my right hand. I'm going to spread the fingers of my left hand apart. So I just spread them apart. Notice I'm just spreading with my right hand. I put it in between the fingers of my left hand, and I spread them apart. It's yoga for the hands. And now I'll do it to the left hand. Using the left hand as the spreading mechanism, and I spread the fingers of the right hand apart. Now we're going to add a variation to that. Not only are we going to be spreading the fingers apart, but then I'm going to use the three middle fingers of the spreading hand to push down on the back of the hand that's being spread. So I'm spreading the fingers apart as I'm bending them back, spreading them apart, bending them back, and then I wiggle that left hand, and it really focuses the spreading, the stretching on these joints in here. And again, you only have to do each one of these movements for 2 or 3 seconds. Notice I'm spreading the fingers apart first, then I push them back, and then I wiggle my hand. And you can do that with each set of fingers. And now using the left hand as a spreading mechanism, spreading the right fingers apart, bending them back, and wiggling the right hand. And you'll notice there's so many of these exercises that I always will do the left hand and then do the right hand, so I don't forget any of the exercises. Now, putting the fingers together as deep in as you can get them, and then squeezing the fingers together like squeezing them together and wiggling them at the same time. I'm trying to massage the insides of each of these fingers. So I'm squeezing my fingers together, and then I wiggle them. And then I go up to the next set of joints there, and squeeze here and wiggle. And then the final set of digits, I turn my hands this way, position my fingers, put the thumbs up on the top, and wiggle, squeezing them together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze this part of my hand together, squeezing the two sides of my left hand together with my right hand, just squeezing it. And in the same, using the left hand to squeeze the right hand. And then making a gentle fist with your left hand, and in trying to sort of flatten it with your right, squeezing the hand. Squeezing the hand. And there's muscles in your left hand that are now resisting the squeezing motion, and it's strengthening them. And then the same thing with the right hand, making a gentle fist and using the left hand to squeeze that. Now there is a ridge that separates the bones of your hand from the bones of your forearm. There's a ridge all the way around. I'm going to use this finger and my thumb to squeeze into that ridge. And squeezing in there, trying to almost sort of separate my hand from the two bones in my forearm. Just squeezing in as I massage along that ridge like this. And then I do the same thing on the opposite side. Again, there's this ridge all the way around, and I just squeeze in between it. Try to find that ridge, articulating your hand so that you can get your fingers of the opposite hand in that ridge. Now I want to place each one of my finger joints in a linear traction. I want to decompress the joint structures in each one of these. The way I'm going to do that is first use my right hand to pull each one of my fingers. And notice how my hand is. It's not positioned like this, but it's positioned like this.
Pull my finger.
And I'm just going to pull along the joint, and as I pull along the joint, just rotate it, move it around a little, wiggle it a little bit. And each one of them doing that. Kind of like milking a cow. And again, anything we do on the left hand, then we repeat it on the other side on the right. So now the left hand, and notice again my left thumb is pointing this way. The pulling is not like this, it's like this. It's more efficient for this wrist. And just pulling each finger of the right hand out as I wiggle it around. Now I want to squeeze each one of the joints just a little bit. Each one of the joints, squeezing them. Maybe you'll get some popping. And same with the other hand. Just a second or two on each. And these, squeezing those forward.
Pop and lock it, fool. Huh.
Now we're just working on bending the fingers back. Earlier we were bending the whole hand back. Now what we're going to do is bend the fingers back. So I place my right hand underneath my left hand and the right thumb on top of my left fingers. And then I'm using my forefinger of my right hand to bend the fingers back of the left hand to get some flexibility and mobility in our fingers. And then the same thing. And then bending that left hand back again. And the right hand back again. And the left hand forward again. And the fingers forward. And the right hand forward. And the fingers forward. And the left thumb backwards. And the right thumb backwards. And the left thumb forwards. And the right thumb forwards. And then putting our fingers like this together and squeezing each end of each finger into the area between our fingers. Squeezing in there. Squeezing, squeezing very, very deeply, and then wiggling your hands. And that concludes the stretching exercises for the hands.
Ta-da! So, I will be back on Wednesday with more Kemper fun. And until then, Rock on.